Hey there, welcome back. So I read some more classic horror novels, and we're going to talk about them. Going from probably more or less my favorite to least favorite. We're going to start with Psycho. I really, really enjoyed this one. The atmosphere of it, the writing, the characters. I gave it honestly a full 5 stars. Just even knowing the twist going in, it did not take away from any of the suspense, the drama, the atmosphere, and writing of it. So you got the classic woman is fleeing after doing a crime, gets to a motel, and then the innkeeper, the Bates Motel, Norman Bates, just in case no one knows what's going on, it's him and his mother, and bad things happen. People come looking for her, they meet the Bates, and then craziness ensues. Yeah, I can't get into. I'm not risking spoilers in case anyone never heard or seen this movie, or even the TV series that was based off it. So we're just going to move right along. Next one is going to be Carmilla, the one of the original vampire stories, and I have so much love and respect for this book, but I can only give it 3 stars because it is so short and things just happen so quickly. And in order for the pacing and the story to move as fast as it does, people have to be very, very, very stupid. It's seriously, hey, watch this kid. Cool, bye. Yeah, we'll take the kid. All right. Hey, weird coincidence thing happens. Just roll with it. Yeah, okay, well, let's roll with this. And if anyone had any sense, this story couldn't have happened. I love Carmilla as a character. I love themes of obsession and inhumanity, maybe. I don't really know how to explain it. And her mother is with her, and what is her mother? What's their connection? Why is she doing this? Does she have a choice? Is she a tragic figure? Is she just a villain? I love the ending of it. It's really well done. I just wish this book was longer. I wish so much that there was just more to it, more character development and explanation, and just diving into their personalities and their motivations, and how long have they been doing this? Is the other female character special, or is she just a long list of people that she's done this to? I'm leaning more towards the latter, but I need a modern retelling of Carmilla so badly that explores all this. The atmosphere and writing just wasn't up to Psycho standards in building that atmosphere because, again, everyone has to be an idiot for this story to happen so quickly. And I want more. I just want more from this story. All right, I'm going to cheat and include 2 books that I read 3 or 4 years ago, probably 3. I just forgot to include them the first time I did this list. It's going to be Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs. Now, I really enjoyed both their movies, so I picked up their books when I first got Audible, and they were fine. Writing was fine, characters were fine, story was memorable and fine. I wasn't drawn into the writing. I wasn't gripped. It wasn't exciting. Maybe because I already knew the stories, maybe because the entire time I'm just picturing the actors from the movie, and I don't feel I got anything new out of the books that the movies didn't present better. The atmosphere in the movies were just better and more memorable to me. Might have been a nostalgia issue, might have just been the circumstances around when I was reading these books. It was exam time, there was conferences I was going to, and I was doing it in airports. It just might have been a situation thing. But for me, average. I'm sorry. Just personal opinion, I enjoyed the movies better because, come on, Hannibal Lecter, you can't beat that acting. And we are just going to brush all that aside and keep going. I guess I'll tell you what it is, and you can have more time to yell at me about not loving these books. Police investigation, serial killers. One is capturing young women. The other one, there's revenge on the detective. It's clearly been too long since I read these because I can't actually remember. My advice is just watch the movie. The Yellow Wallpaper. Oh my god, I adored this book. 4, maybe 5, 4.5 maybe stars. Just because short story novella is not really for me. This book is 15 pages long, if that. It is a woman who we, as the readers, assume is going through some kind of mental issue, postpartum depression, and her doctor husband, because that's not an ethical issue at all, has diagnosed her with whatever and says the treatment for it is like self-isolation, confinement, be in this room. I'm going to monitor what you can and can't do. You can't have any artistic outlets. You can't write. You can't think. You can't read. Everything's going to be very limited. And all she has to do is stare at this yellow wallpaper, and it's her slowly going insane. Like seeing faces in the walls as her mind is just broken down and she's losing it. What most people, myself included, love about this story is apparently the author went through something similar when she was confined to a room and isolated after going through her own battle with mental health. And apparently at least one doctor read this story about what happened to this woman, and it's not a nonfiction. Their liberties were taken. We don't know how much was actually based on true events, how much is just fictionalized. But anywho, at least one doctor's like, yeah, I'm not doing this treatment anymore. We probably need to do some more research into mental health. It's like 15 pages. I beg you to read this story. All right. The Thing is the greatest horror movie, classic horror movie, maybe just horror in general, ever made. I love The Thing. Okay. I might be praising it a little bit too hard, but come on. The Thing is a classic, and it holds up well. So this is based on the short story, things called Who Goes There, and I have not read that one. I should. I'm sorry, I haven't, but Frozen Hell was available for me to read on Scribd, and that was the one that was available to me. For anyone who needs to know what's going on, so the original polished, first published short story of Who Goes There, people tracked down a kind of like pre-edits, unrefined, original version with a couple extra chapters, which is Frozen Hell. So I read the not published, not perfected one, which is a little bit of extra scenes that have been cut in the final version. Regardless, The Thing is the ultimate supreme version of this. Watch the movie. They take all the major plot points of the book and just present it in a better way. The atmosphere is better. They actually do character development. But just speaking of the book, there's a lot of extra characters, most not really important. They're just not as isolated or not as separated. So there's just more of them. And that's a big thing. A lot of stuff comes in like dreams and just exposition dumping. And the only reason I think I enjoyed this story was because of my love for the movie. I still enjoyed reading this story, but I enjoyed it because of the movie. When something happened that also happened in the movie, and there was a lot of things, like I said, they took the main plot points. I'm just picturing the movie in my mind, and I'm loving it. But not because of the writing, not because of the atmosphere, not because of the characters, not because of anything that's happening in the book. It is because I love the movie so much. So not sure where this story falls on my enjoyment as a story by itself. Not sure how much I would enjoy the finished version either. Okay. We are now going to get into stuff that's going to make people angry at me. I apparently do not like classic gothic horror stories because Shirley Jackson, I am not a fan of. Back in the day, and by the day, like 3-ish years ago, I read The Haunting of Hill House. I was going to reread it for this video. I started it, and I'm like, nope, screw this, not happening. I'm not reading it. 1 or 2 stars, I'm not really sure what. The cat's chasing something, sorry. Guy goes to a house, supposedly haunted. They're looking for evidence of ghosts. Does the guy believe in ghosts, or does he think they're made up? I don't know. Neither does he. He invites some people who with like psychic telekinesis, got some kind of, not issue, but like predominance or something, whatever, it's related to ghosts. Supernaturals kind of follow these people. And then the owner or heir to the house. They're in the haunted house. Some weird things happen. They give some explanations on how it could be. not ghosts. They give some explanations on how it could be ghosts. And one of the ladies is just going insane the entire time, except I'm pretty sure she was already insane when she came. It was so annoying. I hated this viewpoint character because it's pretty much all in her point of view, as she is just losing her mind, and she was completely imbalanced to begin with. And I hated this character so much, and it made me hate the book, and I could not get past it, and I could not reread it. I refused. People love this book. They love the atmosphere. They love the characters. They love the plot, and I don't understand any of it because this character was driving me up the wall. So, for this video, I read We Have Always Lived in the Castle because I've heard great things, and I appreciate what the story was doing. I appreciate that atmosphere was a thing. It was very well written in terms of crafting this eerie atmosphere, and I came to the same issue because I hated these characters. Oh my god, driving me up the wall. Okay. Mary Cat, main character, is supposed to be like 18. She acts like an 8-year-old who happens to be a psychopath and wants everyone to die. Many years ago, in the recent past, her entire family, save her uncle and sister, or cousin, I don't care, were killed via arsenic poisoning, and everyone blames she's a sister or the cousin, I really don't care. I'm going to go with sister, I could be wrong. And it took me so long to read this short story because I just kept putting it down, I don't care, because it was so freaking repetitive. Oh my god, the amount of times that things are just repeated and repeated and repeated over and over again, and sometimes within like the same paragraph. So the townspeople hate this family, blame the elder sister for killing off all the other family, and then the cousin, a different cousin shows up, and is he trying to marry like the older one? I don't know. I frankly don't care. Nothing happens. The entire story, I'm just waiting for something to happen, and it's not. It's just all this Mary Cat's viewpoint of the world, and she's got these strange rituals and spells and obsessities, and she's living in a fantasy world, and I could not stand any of it. And now we're going into probably my least favorite one, but honestly, these last three are all really tied, and that's going to be The Turning of the Screw. Not to be contained with The Taming of the Shrew in Shakespeare, which is what I actually thought this was when I looked up classic horror stories on Google, and I seen Turning of the Screw, and I'm just like, isn't that like someone getting married and breaking down a rebellious wife into being submissive? No, different story. This is a governess coming in and 2 children, and she's taking care of them. She immediately falls more or less in love with them, like, oh, they're so beautiful, because Victorian times, if someone is beautiful, then clearly they can do no wrong. They must be so pure and innocent and good. And then she's like, oh, I'm seeing ghosts. Cool. Is anyone else seeing ghosts? No, no one else seeing ghosts. The ghosts must be after these innocent kids. I'm going to protect them. Oh, woe is me. I can't protect them. What do I do? And let's help with this other lady and try to protect the kids from ever seeing the ghosts. Oh, the kids can see the ghosts. They're not telling me they're seeing the ghosts. What's going on? This, again, the entire story is just waiting for something to happen, and then nothing does until the end. And while I enjoyed the ending, I did not like this. I appreciate it. Hey, is this character going insane? Is this actually happening? What the hell is going on? But, no, I didn't care for any of it. So I just don't think the gothic haunted house vibe of stories is for me. Thankfully, I only have one more on my list, The Woman in Black, which I'll cover and read in the next time I do this classic horror stories. But out of this list, honestly, Psycho, Carmilla, I don't even know if I'd recommend Frozen Hell or Silence of the Lambs Red Dragon. Probably Silence of the Lambs Red Dragon. I guess I would also recommend those. Oh, and The Yellow Wallpaper, obviously. But other than that, I did not like this round of reading classic horror stories. I will talk to you later. Hopefully the next round goes better. Bye.